What's up, vinyl community? It's your boy Chris coming at you live, as always, from the Man Cave. Late at night, 11:30 p.m. East Coast time. About the only time I ever have time to bring these videos to you guys anymore, or the only time I ever have time to enjoy any records in this room at all. But usually on the weekends. But anyway, great night for me personally, sports-wise. Huge Los Angeles Lakers fan, as you guys, if you've been following me long enough, know. Lakers won series tonight, 4-1, moving on to the Western Conference Finals. Great thing. Huge Clemson Tigers fan. Season opener today. Very skeptical as to whether or not college football was ever going to even get started this year, and I'm still skeptical as to whether or not it's going to finish because of the pandemic. But either way about it, Clemson won tonight. Big night for me, your boy. Celebrating tonight in the Man Cave by A, coming at you guys with a video, B, having a few adult beverages, and C, about to crank up some loud jazz music here in a minute. But another recent finds video for you guys. Again, I got so backlogged. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably feel like that this year especially all you've seen from me is either trip videos or recent find videos, and I know 56-hour work weeks for me, guys, plus being a full-time dad of a toddler. You know, I document what I have time to document, and this is what I have time for. So it'll get back. The content will get back to what a lot of you guys I know subscribed and signed up for a certain kind of videos or whatever that I used to do, and now I never see you comment on these videos anymore. So now I know you were true to your word. That's what you signed up for. So maybe one of these days, guys, but gotta stay on the grind. Anyway, for all you guys who no longer comment anymore, I just want you to know I think about you and I miss you. So, but anyway, recent finds video. Got to get it started. Got a lot of stuff here I want to show you guys. So I don't want to assume. One of these things about me is, you know what they say about assuming, it makes an ass out of you and me. So I don't want to assume that you guys saw my RSD drop video. Videos part 1 and 2. I don't want to assume you saw those, thus saw what I found. So I'm going to do a quick run through real quick of what I dug up during that trip. First store we hit in Knoxville, Tennessee was Wild Honey Records. Love the bag, and I keep it. I love these stores with these custom bags. It's just a great touch, and they're definitely worth it for collectibles. So this is what I found. Cheap Heat, Booker Little and Booker Irvin, Sounds of Inner City. $7, easily the cheapest record I got that day. Cheapest record I've gotten for freaking ever. Next up, Birth of the Cool, Miles Davis, and it's a 1960s mono pressing. It's not a very first pressing, but still, early 60s mono, clean as a whistle. Hell, I mean, if I never stumble upon that very first mono, it could be my forever copy. I mean, you know, who knows? It's beautiful. It's a great copy. And then next up, my only RSD find that I found all day long, all weekend long, in Knoxville actually, was Gene Russell's New Direction. It's a wonderful reissue on the glorious Black Jazz label. Guys, I highly recommend, especially if you're a jazz fan, I cannot recommend the Black Jazz label to you more. I can't possibly recommend it to you more. It's a great label. Jazz music owes so much to these wonderful black artists, and Black Jazz has the rare distinction of being black owned. So support them. Go out and grab this if you find it. Grab any Black Jazz record if you find it, please. Wonderful stuff. Gene Russell. Can't wait to actually spin it. As you guys can see, it's still in the plastic. So, I haven't had a chance. Next up, my big find of the entire weekend. One of my big finds lately is Joe Henderson's Canyon Lady, and it is a promo copy, original pressing on Milestone. Glares in there. I hate these covers. Hate them, hate them, hate them, hate them, hate them. Anyway, beautiful stuff on Milestone. I freaking love it. I love Joe Henderson. He's, you know, one of my favorite sax players of all time. He's just great stuff, and I've had a wonderful year for Joe. And anyway, that's my Wild Honey trip. Again, trying to run through this relatively quickly because Got a lot to show, and I know you guys have shit to do. Next store I came to was Lost and Found Records in Knoxville, Tennessee. A few miles up the road from Wild Honey. First things first, I want to show you guys 4 cassette tapes. What there were 4. There they are. Tingling around here. You guys can see how well I plan out my videos, can't you? There it is. Not editing any of this. But there's Allison Krauss and Union Station, 2 Highways, cassette 250. Allison Krauss and Union Station, Every Time You Say Goodbye, 250. Allison Krauss, I've Got That Old Feeling, 250. Allison Krauss, Forget About It, 250. Giddy as Hell. Great place to find good bluegrass music in Knoxville, Tennessee. Then, of course, there's an original stereo pressing. Of course, I'm used to using distinction because of my jazz collection, but there's an original pressing of Pearl Jam's Vitology. Third time around for this album, owned like a 2014 or 2015 reissue. Then found an original stereo pressing for $40 at Lunchbox in Charlotte, and then sold it for jazz. And then I always kind of wanted it back because I'm a big Pearl Jam fan. And then I found this first press, $25 at Lost and Found. So no guarantees, as for any record really, that it stays around forever, but I'm happy to have it for now. Next up, John Coltrane Quartet plays. And I'd love to tell you guys that it's an original stereo pressing. It is not. It's like a 1990s reissue, 96, 97. I've got a couple of these particular reissues. Super heavy vinyl, super thick, sound great. So I haven't had a chance to throw it on yet, but I'm very optimistic about it. And for now, for the time being, I'm just very happy to have the album. Obviously, this will be flipped with the quickness if I ever get my hands on the very first pressing. So we'll just see what happens going forward. But Lost and Found Records, Knoxville, Tennessee. Great shop. Next up, Magnolia Records, Knoxville, Tennessee. 1 reissue, 1 original. Fuchsia Swing Song, Sam Rivers. That's one of those Blue Note 75s that came out a few years ago. The quality is not superb. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. $14.99. And that's with Jackie Byard, Ron Carter, and Anthony, a.k.a. Tony Williams, on it. And superb album. I wanted original pressing so bad I could taste it. But when you're looking right at a solid copy for $15, it's hard to just keep walking. Next up, Work Song by Nat Adderley with Wes Montgomery, Bobby Timmons, Percy Heath, and Sam Jones on Riverside. It is an original mono pressing. It is super sweet. So, haven't had a chance to throw it on either. I got it for $13, which just doesn't even seem fair, to be completely honest with you, but I will take it. I will absolutely take it. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't go to the counter and be like, you guys sure you're charging enough for this? No, just trust me when I tell you. Nice. For some reason, I've been holding on to these bags. Last but certainly not least, Raven Records and Rarities in Knoxville, Tennessee. Came home with 2 records. Music by Duke Ellington from the soundtrack of the motion picture Otter Prematures, Anatomy of a Murder. I've wanted this album for years. Was always gunning for an original pressing. This is not an original pressing. This is a $6 reissue, which I don't even know what it is, to be completely honest with you. But it's the music for $6. And someday I'll own the original, and this will probably just be gifted to somebody, to be completely honest with you. But happy to have it for now. And finally, George Braith, probably my second favorite find of the weekend. George Braith Soul Stream with Grant Green, Billy Gardner, and Hugh Walker. It is a Japanese stereo pressing without the OBI with 50 bones. Money well spent. I've already heard it one time. Sounds fantastic. If I ever have a chance to get an original, great. If not, fine with it being my forever copy. We'll see where the next 30 or 40 years takes me. Who knows? I'm like young man, I got a lot of time to collect records. I only wish I had as much time to actually listen to them. We'll see. Then I got to run through this stack for you guys. I'm going to try to run through this one pretty quick, highlighting the most essential ones. By the way, as always, with you boy, saving the biggest ones for last, because that's how I do. So that encourages you to either do one of two things: to either watch the video throughout, or to fast forward all the way through my beer drinking loudmouth ass all the way to the very end and just wait for them. Either way, you do you, but I'm just letting you know what's coming. First off, is a great album actually to start with. Portrait of Sonny Chris, stereo pressing on Prestige. Great album, highly recommend it. Next up, War, Platinum Jazz, Blue Note. Great stuff, 1977 release. Next up here is Phineas, the piano artistry of Phineas Newborn Jr. I have shown this album on my channel before. The last copy I showed you was like a second or third, maybe even fourth pressing. But I sold it to cop this bullseye pressing here on Atlantic. Yeah, very, very happy. It's one of the very few actual bullseye pressings that I own, and so obviously I had to make that flip. But next up, Settling In, Dick Morgan Trio on Riverside, and it's an original mono pressing. It's great stuff. Next up is Eddie Lockjaw Davis Cookbook, Volume 3 with Shirley Scott. And it's a stereo pressing. Again, phenomenal stuff. Stan Getz and J.J. Johnson at the Opera House. Great session. Wonderful stuff. Next up, on VJ, Eddie Harris, Mighty Like a Rose. Another just flat out great record. Eddie Harris on tenor, Joe Dioro on guitar, William Yancey bass, Willie Pickens on piano, Harold Jones on drums. Just phenomenal. Next up, Flutes and Reeds on Savoy. I love these Savoy presses in the lineup. Ernie Wilkins on alto sax and arrangements, Frank West tenor and flute, Jerome Richardson on tenor and flute, Hank Jones on piano, Eddie Jones on bass, and Kenny Clark on the sticks. I mean, seriously, this is heat that you probably weren't aware of. On Savoy again, Savoy, the Savoy label brings so much smoke, guys. I'm not even kidding with you. So good. If you're not familiar with Savoy, then you got to get them into your life. You guys had to know that was coming. Nocturne, Oliver Nelson with Lem Winchester. It's Prestige Moodsville. I got to tell you guys, nothing at all is overwhelming about this cover. The cover is just basic. If you're the type of person who's going for a blind buy and you like shop for covers and stuff to grab your attention, you're never gonna grab this. Chances are. But if you know what's there and you know what it is, you know who it's by, you know the lineup, you know the people involved, you're gonna grab this shit quick, fast, and in a hurry. This is a condition upgrade for me. A condition in pressing. I had a second pressing and in really good condition, but I upgraded to this very first pressing. And what I would describe is, I don't know if I'll go in here in a minute, but I hate this cover. I hate those flapping plastic sleeves. What I would describe is it's definitely strong VG plus. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Wonderful copy. Definitely happy with this one. This is my forever copy. Oliver Nelson on alto and tenor. Lem Winchester on vibes. Richard Wyans on piano, George Duvivier on bass, and Roy Haynes on the sticks. Guys, this album is a smoker. Let's just say it. And here in the South, we don't take our smoking lightly. So, what a wonderful album this is. Highly recommend it. Next up, Donald Byrd and Gigi Grease, Ecstasy, which is the title of the reissue. Just to warn you guys, I don't think there's any need to warn you, but some people are offended by any image whatsoever of a female body. So I'm throwing it out there. But it's Donald Byrd and Gigi Grease's Ecstasy. It's a beautiful album cover to me. It is a reissue of Donald and Gigi's Jazz Lab on Columbia. Some years prior. This is a 70s reissue, but definitely worth having, in my opinion. It's a great reissue, and in my opinion, a beautiful cover. So, anybody's offended by it, I apologize. Didn't intend to do that, but I'm going to show the content I want here. So, next up, the Freddie Roach Soul Book on Prestige. Second time around on this. You guys have seen me show this before. It is an original modern pressing. It's about the time of 1967, so it's the Trident stage. But I had a copy. My previous copy was a beat cover and a great record. The copy that I got was a great cover and a beat record. So I swapped them out and literally gifted the copy to a friend. So got my complete copy just the way I wanted it. It's wonderful. It's an excellent session. Freddie Roach on organ, Edlin Buddy Terry on tenor, Vinny Corral, I think is how you pronounce that, on guitar, Jackie Mills on drums, and then on the B side, of course, is Freddie on organ, Skeeter Best on guitar, Ray Lucas on drums, and King Harrison on congos. Alright, I've gotten down to what I definitely would say are the 4 best albums. Out of the 4 remaining, 2 are original pressings. And then 2 are early pressings, good pressings. Alright, so arguably the best album of the group, Leeway. Lee Morgan with Jackie McLean, Bobby Timmons, Paul Chambers, and Art Blakey. What a lineup of smoke that is. So good. It's a stereo pressing. It's a division of Liberty Records. So, not an original. An original pressing of this album will run you. An original pressing of this album in the condition that I want is going to run you round about 1K these days. And I'm not going to give up hope on it. One of these days. I've had my ways, guys. I've had my ways of tracking down albums for that much money and getting them for half that. I've had my ways of tracking down albums and getting them for half that with an option to make payments. I've had my opportunities to track down those albums and be able to find a person I'm able to trade a bunch of shit I don't want, but maybe other people do for them. So I'm not giving up. In the meantime, this will do me. Man, what a phenomenal album. So great. Lee Morgan, GOAT trumpeter, in my opinion, hands down. Next up is one I just got today, and one that as soon as I wrap up with you guys here on this video is going on my platter. Sonny Clark with Paul Chambers and Philly Joe Jones. And yes, it's a simple trio lineup. It is phenomenal. I have wanted an original pressing of this album forever. And finally just said, you know what, I need a copy of this album in my life. So with Slow Low Vinyl, with Slow Low Records, located in Albuquerque, New Mexico, posted it for sale on their Instagram page. I jumped on it. I had to. So very, very happy to have this album, this copy. And again, it's another one of those ones that in the condition I want, original press, you're looking at around about 1K. So cross my fingers, hope I get lucky. One never knows. In the meantime, I'm just happy to have them here. Very happy to have the music. This next one, okay, this cover is beat, but it's intact. The cover is beat, but it's intact, and you'll be able to tell what it is. The cover's intact, but the vinyl, superb condition. The album sounds great. Hope to upgrade the cover one of these days, but because of how beat the cover is, I got this album for, oh my God, a quarter of what it would go for with a good cover. Maybe. I mean, seriously. It's Paul Chambers. Go. It's with Julian Cannonball Adderley on alto, Linton Kelly on keys, Philly Joe Jones on drums, Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Jim Cobb on drums. And as you guys can see, here's your problem. It's on VJ Records. Water damage apparent, but it is completely, surprisingly, intact. Hard to believe. Now there's this seam split here that I can fix with a Seams Easy strip, but it almost seems counterproductive given. But anyway, I'm going to replace that cover. I'm going to have my perfect copy. Hard to imagine getting a better, condition LP than the one I have, because I mean, it really is glorious, but who knows? And VJ, again, super clean. Very, 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 very fortunate to have that. And finally for me is definitely the big dog of this haul, or shit, really, man, a lot of hauls. I mean, this is one of my big finds of the year. One of my big finds of the last few years. Going to be probably one of my go-tos in my collection going forward. And as someone who recently celebrated their 90th birthday. And the best thing about these birthdays is he's still with us. So he was actually here to celebrate his 90th birthday. It is the great, the legendary Sonny Rollins. And the album I'm speaking of is A Night at the Village Vanguard on Blue Note, 1581, original mono pressing. And guys, it is clean. Been on the table a few times now already. It's gonna spend a lot of time on the table in the future. I love Sonny Rollins, top 3 sax ever for me, honestly, ever. So, man, I could not be happier to own this album. Definitely one of my top finds of the year. When the end of the year comes around and we all put together our top finds of 2020 videos, you'll see it again. So, in the meantime, in this moment now, I just want you guys to know that I'm very, very, very happy to have this album. Very happy. So, that's going to wrap me up for my recent finds video. I'm now caught all the way up on my recent acquisitions, and you guys will definitely hear from me again before my recent finds videos. I'm trying to get back active in this whole swing. I'm trying to get better at my work, husband, parent, life balance. I'm trying. So take some time, especially when you work as many hours as I do, but I'm trying. So you guys will definitely be getting more content from me going forward, and it's going to be more than just trip videos, which by the way are my favorites. For you guys who skip out on my trip videos, or for you, especially with the most recent one, guys, I love those. Those are documentations of such great times, wonderful memories with my friends and people I love. Those are my favorites. I'm not going to lie to you. I could do an entire channel of just those and be content. And then the recent finds videos, which is just the best way I know to keep you guys up to date with what it is I'm finding and what it is. Yeah. So yeah, but I would like to get back more to more of my theme videos and everything like that, and those are coming. So stay tuned, stay patient, have your pet spayed or neutered, and till next time, till next video, keep dropping that needle, you guys. You guys, one final thought to send you all off with Biscuits and Vinyl of Talent, Oregon. burned to the ground recently. They lost everything. They lost their entire store, obviously all of their inventory, everything. Nobody was injured. Everybody was safe, but they lost the entire shop. They lost the inventory. They lost everything. And as you guys know, for 2020, it's already been one hell of a shitty year for small businesses because of COVID-19, the pandemic, everything. So for them to lose the entire shop at the drop of a dime due to the fire, it's just terrible. And for me, a South Carolinian who lives nearly 3,000 miles away, I follow all of my record stores that I'd like to visit someday on Instagram and social media. And they're one that I had followed for a while because I thought, man, if I ever make it up to Oregon, which is a state I've always aspired to visit anyway, it'd be cool to stop by that shop. It just looks cool. It looks like it's a great little town, a great little environment. And so I'd always followed along. And a pipe dream in my mind was maybe, just maybe someday, if I make it to Oregon, I'd love to go to Talent and dig through the crates of Biscuits and Vinyl. And the shop burned down. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to rebuild this shop. A funding account has been started to raise money to rebuild Biscuits and Vinyl. I'm going to contribute. I'm going to drop the link and in here so that you guys can contribute if you want. If you're from Oregon and you're a vinyl lover, you definitely should. And if you're just me and if you're just a lover of vinyl in general, maybe you'll get to visit someday, but maybe you won't. Then you should still contribute. I don't care if it's $5. $5 from 1,000 people goes a long way. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to drop this link in this video. So to the people at Biscuits and Vinyl, I've never met you. You can't put a name on me. You can't put a face on me. But I can tell you this. We're going to get you guys reopened. And one of these days, I might not even look anything like this by the time you meet me. But I'm going to come through and I'm going to drop some serious money on you guys. And I'm just going to shake your hands and smile at you. And you'll never even know. But stay strong, guys. We're going to get that shop reopened. We're going to get that community back. We're going to get vinyl back in that community. And again, whether or not you're from the area or even from that coast, let's show some love. Let's show some support. All of us, guys like me, you can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a single vinyl record. We can drop 10, 15, 20 bucks to reopen a pillar of a community. Let's do so. I'm going to drop that link. Biscuits and Vinyl, Talent, Oregon. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Let's get you back open. Thanks, guys. Until next time.